while we are telling a manifest truth. And this truth, white people know, you scholars know it, but you've hidden it from black people and hidden it from your own people. So if you know that you come from us, then maybe you would respect your root a little better.
Yeah.
And if we knew that you came from us, maybe we would respect ourselves a lot better. So it works for both of us.
All right, truthers, let's get into it. Are the Democrats and the Republicans two sides of the same coin? Let's think about it a little bit. Now, on one side, you have open the floodgates to the South. Let in mass amounts of immigrants that don't know American history, that are not Americanized and are not familiar with American culture and what made this country, this great country, what it is today. On the other side of the coin, you have Donald Trump saying, no, close the border, stop that. Bring in Greenland and South Africans, the Boers. Bring in some Ukrainians and, annex, make Canada the 51st state. Now, why I say is this two sides of the same coin, and this is why I say this. With the W race on the guaranteed decline, there's two ways that they could kind of manage a survival and even maybe, so to speak, a reign of white supremacy. And why I say that is this. Let's get into it. You have, on one hand, the Mexican population, who are racist to the core. At the top, you have the white Latinos. To the middle, you have the mestizos. And at the bottom, you have the black indigenous Negro people. Same thing. Now, when you bring in, and that goes on, not just Mexican, that's the entire South American population. Well, when you bring these people up here, these are people that are naturally subservient, naturally content with being, say I'm mestizo, so at least I'm better than a Negro. At least where I'm from, that's our mindset. So if America floods itself with that population of people, a barrier class, so to speak, but that a barrier class that's shown you a history of continual, and I mean a history of continuous, even though they are the majority of the population, they still keep white rulership over them. It doesn't matter if it's Bukele of El Salvador or the president of Mexico. They keep white rulership on top of them. And that's because they still worship a white image of Christ. And they still hold their white forefathers in high regard, whether mestizo or not. So they would rather be looked down upon by the white Latinos as long as they're better than the Negro. Now, what does that mean for America? Bringing in a population of people like this that now even outnumbers black Americans. What does that mean? People that don't know anything about the Buffalo Soldiers, the Tuskegee Airmen, Denmark VZ, Crispus Attucks. These people don't know anything about the history of what made this country great and how black people have put this place on its back and raised it up to be what it is today. How we fought to fight in every war that was fought historically in this country to make this country what it is today. Even from John Horse in the Gullah Wars, the Black Seminoles, and the roles that we played in the Great Dismal Swamp, and fending off racism and white supremacy for years and years to make this place even habitable for these mestizo people to come in and consider themselves a barrier group above us. Now, if you go into this, if you go dig into this, the Democrats' version of white supremacy is, hey man, it's an inevitability. Our race is not going to be on top forever. We're not the majority forever, so to speak, but there is a way that we can be on top forever, and we can look to the South, in South America, and see how that pans out. And you can on Telemundo and see that They predominantly put the white race, Latinos, to the top, and mestizos to the middle, and the Negro population is voiceless and even invisible nationally if you look on their television channels. So that's something to consider. So that's the Democrats' version of white supremacy. We're going to bring in a people that worship us and that are content with being subservient to us. Unlike the black race, which is always going to fight for the number one spot. They're content with being subservient to us. And we know it's inevitable that we're not going to always be the majority, but at least we can bring in the people with that Blanquiamento spirit, and that will guarantee us some safety, at least for a while, and some continued rulership in the time to come, and will guarantee black people a permanent underclass, permanent role as the underclass in the United States of America. Think about that, black people. That's one side of the coin. Those are your Democrats. Now we go to the other side of the coin. And don't get me wrong, I like a lot of Donald Trump's policies. We do benefit. If you have biblical conservative values, you will benefit by default. But they're not for you to benefit. The overturn of Roe v. Wade, the sending the women back home out of these clerical useless jobs that paid a lot of money or even just wasted a lot of government or taxpayers' dollars, sending them back home to raise their children, paying parents the money that would have went to the school to homeschool and raise their own children. These are all benefits that if you're a biblical conservative or a conservative person who has values of family, you're going to benefit anyway by default. But why is he doing this? Why are we sending the white women back home to their men? Why do we bring in Canada, a racist place as well, predominantly white? They're passive-aggressive races. And then Greenland, a place with no black population, I would suspect. And South Africans, the Boers, with a great history of racism. And, of course, Ukraine, with a large Yahtzee population, and I'm sure hardly any Negro population there as well, so to speak. Why would you bring those people into American society? These people who have no understanding of the black contributions to this place, the inventions and the things that we have done that makes this place, this great place, or this world even what it is. They are literally oblivious to it. Why would you want to bring those people here? And so are the Democratic and the Republican Party two sides of the same coin? Both trying to keep black and brown people as a permanent underclass. And I hate to use black and brown people because the brown people they keep themselves intentionally at a permanent underclass as long as they're considered above the black people. And I use those terms black and brown very loosely because the brown people are black and realistically the brown people are khaki. So, or maybe even no pigment whatsoever. Maybe a white Latino calling himself brown. But when we consider this, both goals of both parties is to leave you as a permanent underclass in the United States of America, the country built by your people. Now, my children, their family, generations here, have fought in every war in this country. Gullah Wars, Civil War, World War II, Korean and Vietnam War, and Desert Storm. Their family died and bled for this, just as many of yours. Civil rights movement, we fought eminent domain, redlining, CIA crack epidemic, multiple attacks on our people, KKK, the burning of churches, multiple attacks on us. We survived and made this place livable and habitable for everybody to be here. And they all come with no appreciation for us. So, and now shipping in mass amounts of these people, whether it's the Democratic version from the south of the border, who are happy just being here, being mestizo, and in their mind thinking they're better than a Negro, or you're shipping in multiple Yahtzees and Boers and other anti-black racists from other countries who are happy to stick their flag in the ground and ride out for white supremacy. Either one is bad for you. So Yeah, family, just think about that. Two sides of the same coin. I would say so, and neither one works out for you.